I don't even know how I want to start this exactly. Frankly, I'm upset with myself because I should not have. Let me just start. So today was the Boston Mini. It was a half marathon through Boston, Georgia, and it had some pretty solid rolling hills that I did not anticipate before running. And leading up into, I had last weekend a really hard long run workout, and then I had a pretty hard session, one less mile of quality, but pretty hard session, 5 miles worth of 5K effort on Tuesday. I didn't even do it on Tuesday, actually. I did it on Wednesday because I was just feeling really run down still from Saturday. And Wednesday I felt really run down doing the session. I had a hard time getting through it. I thought it was just accumulated fatigue, and that's probably part of it. I could make a lot of excuses going into the race, and I don't want any of these to be excuses. I just want this to be the build-up to where I'm actually mad at myself mentally, because these are the excuses I think I put into my head so that it didn't prepare me for this half marathon. So that's why I'm going to give you these. When a little fatigued, I honestly didn't take the half marathon seriously. Very nonchalant, didn't care, wasn't even thinking about the fact that I was really having to training race this half marathon. I did not have enough respect for the race. I remember Wednesday when I did the session, I was just dead all day. I was so tired. I was tired on Tuesday, but I was really tired on Wednesday. I barely got through my work day, barely got through my sessions. I went to sleep super early. I slept for 9.5 hours, which is very unprecedented for me. I woke up on Thursday feeling like I could have slept another 4 hours. My body temperature was up on my Oura ring, which take that for what you will. But my numbers on my easy miles were fine, and Friday I was okay. I thought, whatever, I'll go into Saturday and just see what's up. I'd talked to my coach beforehand, and we had decided that we were going to take a down week this coming week, so next week. And I thought, screw it, one hard half marathon run, and we'll be done with hard stuff for the next week or so. I got some hormone results back, and they were really poor. I got them on Thursday, and they were just extremely discouraging. On top of the overall training fatigue I think I'd experienced, I went mentally to negative space, and it was a state of just being discouraged. So when I woke up this morning, I had planned to film the whole thing. I planned to film me waking up, driving over, some of my thoughts, film my warm-up after, do a whole breakdown, and this was one of those races I woke up and I was so mentally gone. I didn't even grasp that I was racing. Even though it was a training race, I wasn't even grasping that I was gonna be running hard for a half marathon. I had never run a half marathon before. Apparently there was nothing in my brain that even cared about that. It was one of those where I was just coming up with so many reasons in my head. Oh my God, I hope I get lost on the way there. You're thinking of any reason to not do what you have to do. As I was driving over there, I was praying and listening to some Christian music, which sometimes helps me just get calm before a race. I showed up. I still hadn't really gathered the fact that I was running a half marathon. I hope you understand the trend of this, which is I was not mentally ready to run this half marathon, even as a training race. I did not take it seriously enough. I was mentally in a state of discouragement and just out of it. I didn't even warm up for the race, really. I ran like half-mile warm-up, and I didn't go in with any kind of realistic game plan. And that is the biggest thing that I want to take from this is next time I do a training race, I need to go in with a game plan. I didn't really sit down and look and be like, this is how I'm going to strategize this. This is the course. This is what I expect. This is what I want to do. Even pack fuel. I was not. It was a mess. And when I was on the run, anything in the sevens became just a mental defeat in my brain, because immediately I went into race mode, not training race mode. So it's twofold. It was threefold, actually. I was not physically prepared. I had accumulated a lot of training fatigue. I was dealing with some stuff actually, just fatigue, physical-wise. 2, I was not mentally prepared. Both these, right, are my fault. And third one, definitely my fault. I was not strategically prepared for the race. So the first half, I was okay. I was actually pacing for a very nice, clean, like 131 probably. And by the halfway point, I had definitely accumulated some fatigue. By the time I'd hit mile 8, we got a big rolling hill, and I was kind of it for me. I was in a bad spot. I started getting lightheaded. My heart rate wasn't getting high. I was able to control it, and even when I could control it, it felt overwhelmed. I was getting brain foggy, like it was getting bad. And my 131, mids 131 was quickly turning into a 132, 133, which is what it ended up being, 133 something. I think it was low 133s, I'm not sure. Where I'm the most upset is I stopped twice. I'm not somebody that stops on runs. No, I lie. I stopped 3 times. The third time was like for not even a second. I stopped and just was like, screw this, let's go. I stopped because yes, I was tired, and yes, I was hurting, but mostly I stopped because of the 3 issues I told before. I was not mentally, physically, or strategically prepared. I was already in a space where I was not prepared to run a half marathon. I wasn't taking it serious. I remember I got to mile 9 and I kept running, and I wasn't looking at my watch, and so I thought that I was actually closer to mile 11. And I looked down and I saw 9.53, and I just, like right there, I died. 9.53 was where I mentally was just no longer present for the race. Ultimately, for it being my first ever half marathon, I don't want to come off complaining, I'm pissed off because I didn't do as good as I wanted. I'm saying this because it was such a valuable experience in the importance of taking a race seriously, even if it's just a training race. If I want to do something like get a time that's quite impressive, a sub 130 as my second ever half marathon is a really, really big deal. If I'm going to go after something that is so ambitious, then I need to go into it with a certain level of focus and seriousness that I did not approach this run with. And that's where I'm really disappointed in myself. I'm not necessarily disappointed in my performance. If I have a bad training run, you have a bad training run. If you have a bad training race, and it's okay. But where I could have done a lot better and where I am upset with myself is I needed to go in mentally ready to run a half marathon. I needed to go in with a certain level of respect for the half marathon. And that means preparing, looking at the course beforehand, looking at the weather beforehand, making sure my fuel is packed up. I'm in a mental headspace where even if I don't feel great, even if I'm dealing with some stressful news, even if I don't sleep great, I am in a spot where I'm putting my best physical foot and best mental foot forward to go into this race ready to do the best that I can. I just didn't do that. So that was the Boston Mini. I do want to shout out my training partners. Steph Lyles did amazing. She got first place in her 5K race. Katie came off of a really, really hard half marathon big race and won first place. One of my training partners, Maddie, she is an insanely good runner, came off of a 20-mile run workout on Thursday and got a 1:28 half marathon time. Beast of a human. Danny, one of my clients, PR'd his half marathon by 6 seconds per mile, which is crazy. So lots of wins out there today, and I'm so inspired by all of my clients and my training partners. But let's just say today's a day where I need to stay off Strava because I'm in a headspace where I need to recognize that I am, although rationally understanding that there was so much wonderful learning in this, and also 133 is still a good time, I am reasonably discouraged and definitely know that I could have done better. So I'm going to take the rest of the day to chill. I'm going to upload this video, hang out with my friends and family, and just not think about running for the next 24 hours or so. A half marathon's no joke, you guys. Half marathon is no joke. It will humble the shit out of you if you approach it in a very cavalier way like I did. I honestly hope that this recap is encouraging to people, because on Instagram I post all of my training and I post the good sessions and the bad sessions, but a lot of people want to post the highlight reels. We want to focus on the PRs. We want to focus on the really good things going on in our training. Anyone from couch to 5K new runner to an Olympic level marathon runner, everyone has bad training days. Everyone has bad training races. Everyone has bad races. If you are somebody that's been going through a little bit of rut in their training or has had a bad training race or a training day, it's literally just an opportunity to learn, to continue to grow, to figure out what you could have done better, and also to learn where you need to have a little bit more grace for yourself. So that is it. I'm not lifting today. Normally Saturdays I lift. I will pull my hamstring if I lift today. So I think that's all I have to say. Subscribe for the journey. Drop a comment. Talk to me about your training, what's going on. I read any of the comments that I get, and I do like hearing from you guys. So yeah, peace out.